Audio Session 2, Ultimate Reality and Purpose. In the previous session, we introduced the central area of this work, that divine revelation across history may represent a continuous and unfolding process. In this session, we begin that journey by exploring two fundamental themes: the nature of God and the purpose of creation. Theme 1, the nature of God. At the heart of every revealed tradition lies a single defining truth: that there is one ultimate reality, the source of existence, and the authority behind all that is. Across early traditions, this idea is present, but often expressed within expansive and complex descriptions. In texts such as the Enoch tradition, God is portrayed as the ruler of a vast unseen realm, surrounded by layers of angels and cosmic structures. These descriptions reflect an early attempt to understand divine authority on a universal scale. But they also introduce complexity, structures that can obscure the simplicity of the core message. As revelation unfolds, the message becomes clearer and more direct. In the call of early prophets such as Noah, the message was simple: worship God alone. With Abraham, this becomes even more refined. Faith appears as direct submission, a personal relationship with God that is immediate and unmediated. With Moses, this belief is preserved within a structured system. Monotheism is not only affirmed, it is protected. Law and community reinforce the idea that God is one, and that no authority stands beside him. In the teachings of Jesus, the focus turns inward. The oneness of God remains unchanged, but attention moves to sincerity, to worship in spirit and truth. Belief is no longer only external, it becomes internal, conscious, and personal. Finally, in the Quran, this theme reaches complete clarity. God is presented as absolute one, independent, without equivalent, and the sustainer of all existence. There are no intermediaries in essence or in worship, no division, no ambiguity. The concept in the Quran becomes both simple and comprehensive. It unites belief, existence, and human purpose into a single coherent understanding. Across all stages, the core truth remains the same. God is one, but its expression develops. What changes is not the message, but the precision with which it is understood. The second theme, creation and the human purpose. Once the nature of God is established, a second question emerges. Why does creation exist? Why does the human being exist? Well, in early tradition, creation is described in terms of origin, how the world began, and how human beings were formed. These accounts establish an essential truth, that existence is not random. It is intentional, ordered, and meaningful. But the focus in the early tradition remains primarily on how creation occurred, not fully on why. However, in the Moses tradition, creation is presented as structured and purposeful. God creates with order. Human beings are distinct within that order, yet the emphasis remains largely descriptive. In the teachings of Jesus, the focus shifts. Attention moves away from the mechanics of creation toward the meaning of human existence. The value of the soul becomes central. What matters is not what a person possesses, but what they become. This marks a transition from description to purpose. In the Quran, this theme reaches full integration. Creation is not only intentional, it is purposeful. Human beings are not merely created, they are entrusted. Life is described as a test, a space of responsibility where actions carry meaning. Existence is directly connected to accountability, moral choice, and return to God. Thus, the Quran emphasizes that creation is not without purpose, and the human life is not without direction. Thus, across Revelation, a clear progression appears. Early traditions describe creation. Later teachings explore its meaning. And in the Quran, origin and purpose are brought together into a complete framework. Thus, what began as an account of existence became an explanation of why existence matters. In summary, in this session, we have explored two foundational truths: that God is one and that creation is purposeful. Across all revelations, these ideas remain constant, but their expression becomes clearer, more direct, and more complete over time. In the next session, we will move forward from the structure of reality to the nature of the human being, the inner self, its freedom, and its capacity for transformation, and the role we play within that purpose. Thank you for listening.